All right. Appreciate your patience.
All right, everybody. Andrew, kick us off.
Mike, just wanted to ask you, not just in light of yesterday's performance from Sam, but generally speaking, midway through the year, is this what you had kind of expected for or hoped from him, or has he perhaps even exceeded expectations for what you had from him at the quarterback position coming into the year?
Yeah, I don't think we had expectations. We have a vision for what we felt like he could do, and it's a pretty big vision. How he's playing right now, and he's doing a great job. But the things that we thought he could do, he's definitely doing that, and probably then some. I mean, we brought him in to be our quarterback, be a leader, win games, be efficient. I mean, all those things he's doing.
Brian? John?
Yeah, Mike, you touched on this a little bit yesterday, but as you look at the film, how much with what Jackson's doing this season are you seeing, like maybe as each week goes on, more opportunities coming up for other players as teams do more to try to take him away?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's different mechanisms based off of the defensive systems you're in that teams can get to take receivers away based on the situation. First, give credit to our offensive coaches for moving him around and making him a moving target. But if you're going to spend a lot of resources on making sure he doesn't catch the ball, then our guys are showing that they can take advantage of those opportunities and those one-on-ones, and Sam can deliver the ball to him. So it's great. It's great. Something that we're going to still have to take advantage. I know if we were game planning against us, that would be one of our top priorities is taking care of Jax, and I'm sure the teams are thinking the same thing. So that's something we need to be taking into account moving forward.
Greg?
Sir, I'm going to shine a light on you and your coaches a little bit. Last night after the game in D.C., a lot of the players were talking about how you guys, the coaches, want to set a culture. And then they talked about the things you do preparation for a game, like the Brandon Pili on the kickoff and preparing guys that are coming in, like Tyrice and guys like that. How much pride do you take in your players, maybe not even just talking to us about that, but just responding to the things you're teaching and showing them week to week?
Yeah, man, I haven't really thought about it through that lens. I think it probably reflects that our staff is aligned and we're going towards the same vision, which is important. You start straying in different directions. I think the players sniff that out. And then to build trust, I mean, you have to show that you can help guys out, and that when you're making these decisions, it's in the best interest for the team and the players. And so it's great to hear that they believe in us, and I sure as heck hope that they can feel that we believe in them, and I think that's what happens. That you can take some of these chances about using personnel a little bit unconventionally, and sometimes things aren't going to work. But I can definitely tell you that we can look our players in the face and tell them it's coming from a good place, and we think it's the best for them and the team.
As a first-time CEO, what have you leaned on to build this, to get the messaging right, to reflect the staff's cohesion? What was the magic soup to do that?
Yeah, I think it's something that's evolved over time. As you start as a young coach, you think you know everything. You think it's all about X's and O's. You start to gain some more responsibility. You realize it's definitely not just you. It takes the whole team. Then you start to realize, okay, alignment is really important. Again, around coaches like the Harbaughs, about how principled they are and kind of those old school principles. That's something that I learned from those guys, and then you come here and it's you feel like you got a lot of great ideas, but it's probably a little too scattered. Creating the alignment is easier said than done. It takes a lot of conversations. It takes some decisions that might not be easy to do in those moments. But I think I feel like I can speak for our coaching staff and the rest of our building. It's like I think we've generated an idea of who we want to become and what we want to be as an organization. and a lot of that groundwork has been here, and so that's probably what's made the transition, fun. It feels like it's not just me coming in saying, hey, this is the way we have to do everything. It's hey, this is the vision that we want to create. What's the best way to get there on all these different decisions? So it's, yeah.
And then finally, you joined only 2 others in league history to do what you did. Win 11 of the first 12 on the road as a head coach, McVay and Seifert. First of all, we've asked you this before, but the way you do things on the road, where'd you learn that from? Was that a John Harbaugh thing? And then how much pride if you look back and take an accomplishment like that?
I mean, it's cool. It's a cool stat. It's like I'm worried about where we're going to go from here. It's cool that we've done it, but as a head coach, you probably get too much credit and too much blame. It's like this is a team operation when we go on the road. I mean, this is as when we got here, it was okay. How is it? Because the team has had success on the road before I was here, and so I was curious. Hey, what are the things that we were doing prior? Okay, a lot of that stuff we've kept, that we felt like were aligned with how we wanted to operate. And then, I had experience from one place of how we did it in Baltimore. So that was probably the blueprint of everything we did it initially. And then you start to learn, okay, well, what's best for the Seahawks? Going east is way different than going west. You're learning that. And we got a lot of firepower behind the scenes, making these things happen as well. And those people deserve a lot of credit.
Curtis?
Yeah, Mike, with Jackson last night coming out of the backfield a handful of times there for you, what is it about his skill set that lets him jump into the backfield and still be the receiver you want him to be? And then as a bigger picture, what is it about having a really prominent receiving threat coming out of the backfield, whether that's back to Marshall Faulk or Debo when he was with the 49ers, that causes problems for a defense?
Well, yeah, just speaking to his skill set, it shows you like his diversity of skills. He's made plays at all 3 levels of the defense, really in all the breakers, in breakers, out breakers, runaways. So he can kind of get you with anything, which makes it difficult to what do you got to kind of choose what you're going to defend given a situation. But he's just a very dynamic receiver in terms of putting him in the backfield. It's how you want to treat it. Do you want to treat it like a running back? Do you treat it like a receiver? How do you match it? What coverage adjustments do you make? Because now he's 4.5, 5 yards out of the backfield, if any. Those are decisions you have to make in real time, and it just adds stress onto the defense, in my opinion. And if that's something that you can take advantage of, then that's something that we're going to explore.
And then when you look at the pressure you were able to create for Jaden all night up front and with the blitzes you brought and everything, what do you kind of make of that performance overall and kind of where it kind of indicates your defense is at the midway point of the season here?
Well, I thought our rush, for the most part, we had a couple rush lane issues throughout the game that we want to get addressed, but I'm sure we will. But the guys, they played really hard. The rushing coverage worked together. I think the step that we took this past game was our pressure coverage was probably the best it's been all year. So when we did rush, in the simulated world or 5 or 6, our guys were on point, and the guys just did a great job executing the coverage. So the quarterback didn't have exactly anywhere to throw initially, and that helps the timing of the pressure as well.
Bob?
Yeah, Mike, just first off, any update on Ernest Jones at all?
No update. They're doing the medical right now. Probably stick to the same story as last night, is not season ending, but we're gonna be working through his knee. We'll have an update probably on Wednesday on what the technicality is behind it.
How did you feel like it worked out with Drake? Then it looked like he kind of took over those roles, and then with Tyrice, obviously.
I thought Drake's communication was fantastic. We didn't skip a beat. That's a tribute to him, and staying prepared. Now he has the green dot in practice as well, so he has a lot of reps at it. But he did a phenomenal job managing their tempo and the communication. And then, him and Tyrice played both positions throughout the night and interchanged seamlessly. I thought I was really pleased with those guys, with really T Knight coming in and executing the defense, and I thought Drake played a tremendous game.
And in the back end, obviously, again, Josh went out, Reek stepped in. How did you feel like he did there? And then kind of the mix of with Devin and Nick and kind of what you ended up doing with those two guys as well.
We've had some scenarios throughout the season where we've had a DB go down early in games, and I felt like last night was the best job that we did as a team, as a defense, and as a coaching staff of making the adjustments in real time and, detouring, from where we originally things we wanted to do and got the solutions quicker where the guys can execute, and the guys did a great job. I mean, we moved some guys around. There's some guys in some spots that hadn't really practiced a lot of those plays and gotten those looks throughout the week. So I thought, considering that, the execution was really, really good.
John?
Yeah, Mike, just curious to get your thoughts. I don't think we asked you about the play Eamon Wari made, the tackle for loss, where he's getting blocked on Debo. Just that play in particular for him, but then also kind of touching on what Bob asked, just how you thought it looked with him and Spoon out there together, really for the first time in a regular season game.
Yeah, well, the play on the perimeter was a play we expect him to make. I mean, one of the reasons we have him in that position is so he can be a factor on the perimeter screen game and the perimeter run game. And he continues to make those plays, and when you can eliminate those plays offensively, it narrows their menu, and that's really helpful. But that was a tremendous play, and that's something that we're going to want to encourage him to still do. Like his body position when he strikes, his hand placement, all those things. We expect him to keep improving, and I know he'll put the work in and do it, and we have a plan for that. In terms of him and Spoon, I'd say the number one thing is just the energy those guys bring to the table, the competitiveness. Where they're playing, it really right now depends on our secondary depth and how many corners we have up. But I think the cool thing is there is some flexibility, and Nick's shown the capacity to handle multiple positions, which is exciting, and it's showing us that we can keep giving them new responsibilities.
Andrew?
Sorry about that. Mike, kind of broadly asking here in respect to practices and tackling, how much of that is a focus for you guys on a week-to-week basis? Just something that some reporters are asking around the league to various coaches about. Is it something that you prioritize regularly week to week, or if you identify issues with it, do you try to harp on it a little bit more? Just kind of broadly speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say we put a premium on it every day. Now, we've had some issues earlier in the year, and probably some more technique things, and then we address that in the film room and in practice time. But we're definitely allocating a lot of time to those core fundamentals for sure.
Ari?
After the game, Nick and Tori came off the field, and they were chanting that game was the rookie takeover. What have you liked about the contributions that this year's draft class has been making so far this season?
Tell them easy there, Tiger. We got a lot of work to do. Pretty sure they're not giving up playoff slots after week 9. So we got some more. We have a lot more work to do. That might be a message for them when we see them on Wednesday. But the guys. The most you can ask is like the way we're trying to train our players is given the circumstance, go out, do the things you're trained to do, play the best version of football you can play. Our style of ball, one play at a time. I mean, it's like cliche central, but that's literally like what we focus on every day. And so whether you're a rookie, a 10-year vet, the ability to go do that is great. It's great for them. They're going to play good football. They're going to be productive, and they're going to help the team as well. But I hope they know that we have a lot more work to do.
Curtis?
Yeah, Mike, we've talked about the line when it comes like the running game a bunch this year, but pass protection-wise, Sam's been clean a lot of the season, wasn't sacked last night. What about that unit and pass pro is working so well for you guys right now?
Yeah, our offensive line, they deserve some love, man. They're playing really hard. I loved how they operated and they practiced last week. They did a great job. And the pass protection is a product of that. The thing I would say is, if you're going to say pass rush is a kind of 11-man job and how you affect the quarterback, pass protection is the same thing. So the timing of plays, how we identify pressures, the protection, how we execute protections, how we get to spots on the field, Sam getting through his progressions, and there's a lot of trust involved. There's a lot of work involved to make sure that timing comes to life. So, but they're doing a great job protecting Sam. I think we're staying square. We're being firm in the pocket, which is letting Sam do his thing back there. So, but they definitely deserve some love.
And one more, what did you think of Derick Hall's first game back for you guys last night?
Yeah. Then again, like now you can roll pretty deep with our front, and so not only did Derick have a great game, he lets the other guys, play it, more, kind of takes the load off those guys and lets them, be fresher throughout the game. So. Really pleased with Derick. He's a physical player. I know he's a little bummed about falling off a sack or two, but the production was there, and I thought he rushed really well.
Anything else? All right, everybody. We'll see you Wednesday. Thank you.